Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name's Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at the Koalition.com, and I'm joined again by Editor-in-Chief Richard Bailey Jr.
Yes. What's up, Adam? What's up, listeners and viewers?
Yes, what's up is that we are going to cover another fantastic episode for a very, very good show. Man, Mayor of Kingstown, we had people, you guys who know who you are in the comments saying, this is underrated. A lot of people aren't talking about this show. And that's true. I don't know why. It's a great show. This is a brutal, cutthroat. We're seeing a lot of grittiness, a lot of backstabbing. Ian is... I don't know what to say. It's like, is he the type of friend you want, or the type of friend that you have to worry about? Because this dude, if you cross him wrong, he will he'll get you drunk and dump you in the car and hope you die. So this was some show, man, some episode. So here we go, everybody. This is for Mayor of Kingstown, season 4, episode 7, My Way. I didn't catch anyone say it's My Way. So maybe they're just referring to someone. I don't know. Maybe we missed it. Put it in the comments, people, if we missed it. But I was trying to link it up if there was going to be some kind of connection with Frank Sinatra, My Way. But no, it didn't. I even had a little audio. Who knows? Maybe we'll go there. But either way, thanks again real quick for all the subs, the follows, the shares. We see you. Thank you all. It's been great. People are enjoying this. We're enjoying this. We're covering this. We'll cover a bunch of other shows. We got Spartacus coming on Friday. In fact, by the time this drops, Spartacus episode 1 and 2 already be out. So you'll find that. That's with me and my buddy Ken. So go ahead and check that out. And all right, let's get into this. So Hobbs is sticking with the deal that she made with Mike, which is, all right, you put Frank in KPD. In exchange, Kyle goes to AdSag and Merle goes to Gen Pop. And then we see that happening. Kyle, as we already know, is there. Merle is coming out. He's walking by Kyle and he stops and he's allowed to just talk. He goes on a rant talking about, oh, you're like your brother. You don't appreciate. No, thank you. No, this and that. Throwing this whole big thing. Then Kyle comes back with some of his own lines. A lot of back and forth here, but he kept saying, Kyle kept telling him, he's like, you're nobody. You're a ghost. Well, not really. He's got pull. Any other guard would have been like, hey, inmate, keep it moving. Keep it moving. I mean, bring the guy a chair then. If you're going to let him do this, and just go on this whole monologue, then just like let him just say his piece and just hunker down. Because that was pretty long, right?
Yep. There he is.
Yeah. It was just, I'm just thinking about it because it was like, why are they letting him just hang out there and give this whole speech? I was like, go ahead.
One of the guys is also in the same organization as him, as we learn later in the episode.
Yeah,
one of those guards. So that's probably what it is.
And I think that's what's going on here. And we find that out later also with some of the guards. It's all corrupt. Cindy was right when she was like, is this whole place corrupt? Yep. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. And there you go. But then he gives this nice little one-liner.
You can't choose family, Kyle. You can only choose your friends. Take my hand. You survive. Don't? Oh, shit. You might as well nod up your sheet and end it now, because you're not going to make it.
I think he's right. I've been saying this from the beginning. Go ahead. Let's think about this. But I don't think Kyle is going to make it out. Something keeps telling me every season has a shocker, right? The last season, Iris dying the way she did, big shocker. No one saw that coming. She had her hard life, but no one saw that coming. So this season, what would be the big shocker? Big shocker is Kyle not making it out. Frank, whatever. Bunny, that would be a big shocker too. But as we saw right now, I don't see that happen, right? We don't see that happening at this point. If he was going to die, they would have had him die in the car. We talked about that. So no, I don't think that's it. I think something's definitely going to happen, either with Kyle and, man, dare I say, Cindy. Could something happen to? We already know Kevin's. I know a bunch of you like, but yeah, no, Kevin is dead. Kevin is gone. Dude in the comments said it. Run. It's too late for Kevin. Kevin can't run. Go ahead.
Oh no, I think it is Kyle, and it's very much connected to. We'll get into it later. The whole thing about Mike telling Bunny what the plan is. I don't think that Bunny is going to go along with that plan. So that could lead to something happening to Kyle by the end of the season.
Yeah, no, it's something. Something's got to go awry. This is Mary Kingstown. No happy endings. Something always goes down. Like, even like besides the Iris, the whole situation, the fact that Kyle is in prison, that was another tragedy from that last season. That finale, and it's like, oh man, the shootout, what's gonna happen? I thought maybe he was gonna get shot on the bridge, but no, he does the shooting, and look, now he ends up in jail. But we get a quick jump back at KPD. Stevie and Ian gets a call. It's Mike. He's outside. They're all trying to figure this out, and it just comes back to cold Frank. So I can't. I mean, somebody just tried to hit. Yeah, I know, but hold him. Tell him it's from me. It's for his safety. I'm pretty much that's what he was getting at, right? It's like, keep him there, his safety. He's like, all right, I'll see what I can do. We know that's BS because a few scenes later, we just see him hanging out with his second in command, loading up. So I don't know if they forgot about that scene or maybe they didn't want to go there. They're like, we'll just say he walked out. No, how about we don't even say it? We just show a scene where he's out. All right, let's roll with that because that was it with that. Mike catches Hobbs in the parking lot. That was kind of funny, especially when you consider all the security and all the other stuff. And then she has a gun. I would think that she would have that at her waist ready because he just rolled up next to her, to talk. And I was waiting for her to like point the gun, like, hey, oh, don't run up on me. But no, basically didn't appreciate being caught off guard and uses the whole thing. It was like, just let me know next time before playing chess that we're playing chess. Because that situation wasn't great. Now this is where it gets interesting because we're trying to figure this out, and you'll probably see this here, right? The Patty and Robert. So as we know, Patty is Robert's wife. That's the one that left with the son, dealing with all the issues. He's got other issues, and she's like, things working out. It's like, oh yeah, I'm in a good place now. We straight up know that's BS. How dare you lie to your wife? You see, she knows you. She's been married to you. She asks, if I try any of this shenanigans with my wife, she would see right through it. And I'm sure if you're looking at the image here on YouTube, you'll see there's a cup there. I'm sure there's like Jack Daniels or something in there. That is not coffee. This dude drinks like a fish. Every scene from this one to Ian to everywhere he's at, he's drinking a beer. He's taking shots. You name it. He's always got something in his hand. And yeah, go ahead, crack jokes. People always say, oh man, we see you with the mug. Yeah, I live off of coffee. The day that this coffee's gone is the day I collapse on the floor. This is what keeps me running. This is definitely what keeps me running. But yeah, she wants to, he wants her to come home. She's not ready for it. I mean, he's got a lot that's messed up besides the work situation. As we know, home life wasn't great before, and it's not like, oh, everything's going to get better once he gets back his job back. That's not the play there. And that actually comes up later on when Mike starts talking to Ian about the situation. All right. So then we run over to Mike hanging out with Evelyn, and he's really playing dumb with all of this. I found that interesting because he was like, "What? What do you mean? My witness is gone. You know what happened? Did you do it? I don't get my hand. What are you talking? Maybe he just ran. Not once did she say, "Man, I bet you had Ian do it, or you told Ian." No, she doesn't do that, and that makes no sense because she knows how close they are. She also knows that whole group is close, so shouldn't be surprised. So if anything, she put a target on that witness's head right there. She should have just kept her mouth shut. Said, you know what? I got a witness. That's it. That's all you need to know. But then again, I think that is what she said, right? I don't think she said his job or anything. I think they found out that he was a driver, a food delivery driver or what, a package delivery. I think Ian, because that was the thing. Remember, he called Robert and he's like, I found him. He's delivering packages. Right? He was just some delivery guy. So even just that little information was enough to just, there you go. Now he's sleeping with the fishes. That's a shame. But he says, hey, don't worry about it. He said, because I'm going to make it all right. I got something bigger for you, something better. A whale, he says. And she was like, oh, no, whatever. I don't want to hear BS. Now, this is what I want. I thought he was talking about Hobbs, that he knows she's crooked. She's pretty much confirmed that she's crooked. And what's bigger than that? Getting the warden of a prison? But no, he says, Frank. Do you think does that make sense? Yeah, he said he's like, no, Frank. I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first time he's mentioned Frank to Evelyn. So
yes,
right. So now we know that she knows who he is. We didn't know that.
And we will give a special shout out to Lenny James, because the way he looks in this photo, this is how he looks when he heard. Basically, Mike is trying to tell Evelyn, yeah, well, you need to arrest this guy. So,
oh man, yeah. Oh, Lenny James. I'm telling you, we talk about actors getting typecast. Some are cool with it, some aren't. We talked about the whole Norman Reedus and all that stuff going on in The Walking Dead, and the Daryl Dixon spinoff, and him sending that mysterious tweet saying goodbye to everyone. I really hope he doesn't walk away from the character. I get the next season is the last for Daryl Dixon. Go ahead, check that out. That's a fantastic show. We also do a show over on the Koalition on the website and on the YouTube. I am Negan. We've been doing that for 45 years now. And it gets longer, people. It keeps going. But we bring this up because Morgan, which is Lenny James, plays Morgan. That was on the mothership that went off to Fear the Walking Dead, and he's still alive. Spoiler, people, if you didn't watch the finale of Fear the Walking Dead, Morgan survived with his daughter, and they're on their way to Alexandria. So he could always come back in that universe. I bring all this up to go full circle is because when I see him here, it's hard for me not to see Morgan. It's hard for me not to see and think that he's going to pull a staff underneath the table and start whacking him in the head. And they're like, yo, what's wrong with him? He's like, you walkers are now looking like humans, and going crazy. That's what I'm thinking in my head. He's a fantastic actor. I'm not saying that he can't act. He's not like I know I'm going to get some heat from like Keanu Reeves. That's the running joke. He's playing the same character in all his movies. It's also because he plays a lot of the same type of character in those movies. It's an action hero, an action role. But in this, it's just I don't know. But we'll see. I thought he was here for the long run. Go ahead in the comments if you think he's not, or if you do. But I thought when you bring in someone like Lenny James, yeah, you could bring him as a guest star for the season. Some people may argue that that's what Hobbs is, right? That's what Falco. But no, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, yeah, he's having a hard time. He's in jail, and he thinks he's double crossed. Right, that's the whole thing now. He's like, Mike, you double crossed me. You set me up. No, I didn't. There's people everywhere. But how about this? You flip it. We got some intel, right? We got some intel because we got Kevin over there. Kevin is digging around. He's hanging out around the office of Hobbs. Receptionist walks in. But hey, as much as he looks shook on the outside and nervous and not sure how he can handle himself, he's quick on his feet. And he's like, Torres, he's busting my balls and just checking on me and telling me to do research and find some stuff. What time is that delivery again tomorrow? And she tells him 1,300 hours or something like that. And it's like, yeah. He's like, okay, just making sure, okay, that's all. And so he relayed this message over to Mike about this whole thing here. And then Mike is like, all right, well, thanks a lot. Don't worry, I'll hook you up. But then Kevin says,
I hear the words you saying.
Yeah, and?
Ain't just words.
He sounds so defeated and sad here, from the looks and now what he's saying. He knows, but it's one of those situations. Yeah, run. That's what we would all do. But run where? Where is he gonna go? And does he have money? Running takes money. It takes funding. You have to have money to get somewhere and live somewhere, start anew, change your IDs, all that stuff. He's stuck. And so he's just doing the best he can. But I think he feels that it's a no-win situation because he tells him, he's like, she's going to find out. She's going to know once this information comes out, because as we know, Torres saw him with the phone, with the camera, all that stuff, smash it in the last episode. He already knows. So it's going to come to bite him. And I think he'll probably be the next casualty on this show. Right?
Oh,
that's it. I mean, we might as well just say it.
I think that's a very good guess. The next episode is going to be very interesting because I expect him to get confronted about this because Torres knows. Yeah. He knows.
Well, what was also cool that led up to this scene, and then I sort of skipped over, but I was like, it's kind of cool now that I think about it, is that Torres was giving this whole motivational speech to the CEOs in the locker room, and then Kevin makes himself purposely throw up so he can get out, and he's like, oh, sick, and like, oh, get out of here, don't bring that bug here. And I was like, oh, well, there you go. That's how you get out of the job. And I'll remember that next time I go in. Let's get out of here. But that's how he gets to do that whole thing. That's when we get up to that, what you just pulled up that image of Mike talking with Frank. Frank doesn't believe it. He's like, you're setting me up. This is that. He's like, no, we got this planned out. Right now we got intel. Get your guys to go hit this spot, this truck. We know when the truck is coming in. They still haven't said what's in the truck. I'm assuming drugs, right? Is it money?
Yeah.
No, it's drugs. But then, all right, people in the comments, if you know more about this or if you got some clues, because I get the drug game is a serious thing. I get that. But is it really that big in prison financially? These are inmates, again, they don't have big money. They're not making big deals. So is this more of like a way to, like a depot? You know what I mean? For transporting. So the goods coming from who knows where on these trucks. Was it? It's like a gas truck or something like that. That's what it looked like. Or
no.
Right? What was it?
Yeah, that's the Columbians. This was Frank's payback.
No. I get that, but in the type of truck, like what was it delivering originally? Besides the shady stuff that's in it.
It looked like it was a gas truck.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a gas truck. So this gas truck comes in. Then there's a bunch of bags. So I'm wondering if this is just a way to get this into Michigan, into that area. And then once it's there, it's transported out. I don't think it's distributed in the prison is what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like,
correct.
Come on now. There's not enough money going around in the prison system, to really make it worth their while on this one. So I'm thinking that they're just using this as a relay. And the fact that the warden is in on it, she helps us out. So that way they can get it in. And maybe that's the other reason why they want to take Frank out, because then they want to control the rail system so that they can do the distribution and that whole process. Yeah, just triggering it all. But he tells them what's going on and says, hey, this is it. Get your guys, go do it. And maybe that's it. Maybe they didn't say it, but I guess maybe that's when they let him go. So they kept him there long enough for Mike to get more intel and then just relay it. So yeah, there you go. Maybe that's how that whole thing happened. The next one we get with Ian hanging out with Robert, right, at his house. Again, Robert drinking, watching, what was it, Dog Whisper or something like that. I never got into that. I know people that were hooked on it, but no, he's watching that, talking about how he hung out with Patty and the boy, and everything's going to get better once he gets his job back, but he doesn't think this is going to happen, and he blames Mike for everything. Says, hey, I did one solid for Mitch. And if you remember way back season 1, Mitch, former cop, was the original mayor, gets whacked. Robert was the one that found the guy, and then he took that guy out. So he's like, I did the job for him. I what the hell? And then if Mitch was alive, he wouldn't let me, go through all this and suspend it. He would have taken care of me. He's like, Mike's the problem. Now, it could be all talk. He's boozed up, right? It may not be legit, but, people do crazy things and they're hard on their luck. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't think this is all talk because it's a built up anger because, again, what happened with Kyle at the end of last season, the fact that Kyle basically, shot him. That's why I say he has a reason to be angry. And I do think he intends to act on that, but we have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky with all of that. But we get another funny scene here with Callahan. He's now in Gen Pop. He's giving high fives, everything. It says like one guy makes some mention about like things are in motion or something. What was that? I'm going to give you a ride. The ride is here or something. I got you a ride. Something to that effect.
I got you a ride. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
what it was.
got you a ride. There you go. And I instantly dirty bird my head thinking back to Oz. That he got him, he got him a loose pocket, somebody to wet his whistle or whatever. But no, as we see, I know people are like, damn, is it getting there? It could be. This show could get there. I wouldn't be surprised. We got Adebisi. I'm waiting for an Adebisi type character. Get the little hat going on the side. Still don't know how he kept that little hat on his head, but whatever. Oh man, I missed that show. That should come back. But anyway, we get that scene. We find out more later on what's going on with that. This was a crazy part with Breen, and he's with Cindy, and they're talking to an inmate, right? They're locking people up, they're moving them around, and this inmate, he's just, I don't know how he knows this, but he knows of all the shady stuff that Breen used to do at the women's prison, right? He's like, I know about you and the girls. You like the ones that can't fight back and this and this and that. And he's just going off. Now, the camera sort of showed Cindy's reaction, but she didn't look too shocked by it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the guy who he choked out, that guy looked like a poor man's version of Triple H. You see it with the beard. Yep. I saw that. I was like, yeah.
It's his Triple H in like 30 years. WWE goes down the tube. TKO Holdings just sells it. They do a mass layoff and auction stuff, and things go bad for him. He gets crazy, and then he gets arrested. And here we go. So. But yeah, so he starts mouthing off, talking about all this stuff that Breen was doing with the women at the women's prison there. And he gets pissed. He grabs him by the shirt and just starts slamming his head, right? So it's pulling him back, boom, 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 boom. All right. And he just pretty much knocks him out, but then he just move on from that. I was like, all right, it is what it is. What else can they do? Who corrects the COs in this situation? You know what I mean? We don't know a boss. Now, early on, and I'll bring it up now just because I'm wondering. Cindy had said that, I had the Clyde, she said, needs me for something. This is early on. Later on, we'll get to that when they were during the lunch break. But I'm just wondering, who is their boss? Is it Torres? But there has to be someone in next. You know what I mean? A supervisor is what I'm getting at. Because somebody needs to check on these people. Because now this guy's just going to sit there in the cell bleeding all over the place. No one's going to check him out. I don't know. All right. So next we see Ian hanging out. He is a hockey coach in the town. He's got multiple hats on. I should say no hat. He's bald, but he's doing his thing. Mike shows up. He's like, "Hey, how's everything going?" And he has some intel. Turns out that the guy who did the shooting at the precinct worked for the cartel. Homeland had him at one point, and they let him go. He showed some hearing. Shows up here and tries to take out Frank. And I had to pause and just bring this up to you because like, oh, wow, surprise. Sounds like something else that we just saw on this show. When Mike told Ian and Stevie to let go the assassin, the mute that didn't want to talk. And meanwhile, he's doing all this killing. He's out there. And they keep saying, oh, we got him on watch. He's always home. He's at the diner right now just eating cereal. You know what I mean? Who is that guy? He's on the take also then. Because this guy is everywhere. You would never think he was under house arrest. Mm-hmm. So that's some important intel because now they know. They're like, all right, what are we going to do here? Now, we don't see the other part of this, which we'll get later, but I'm assuming when he brings over a bunch of hockey sticks to Cindy, I guess I guess it doesn't have to come up, but I don't know. I like I like to just keep things consistent. It would have made more sense if right before he leaves, he's like, hey, can I take some of these sticks? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Now, sticks are expensive. I used to play hockey. People play hockey, they know. Sticks aren't cheap. Okay. So depending on the quality, but still, I don't know. These are the things I think about. I overthink too much. All right. Then we got Frank hanging out with LT and the crew. Right. They're talking about the good old days. and how people used to handle themselves in business and all stuff. Meanwhile, at the other end, we see a lot of the guys just packing things up. They're getting ready for this. Now, it looks like these guys are also Bunny's people, right? Because one of the guys sort of mouths off a little bit, and they were like, they give him a look, and I was like, oh no, he'll be okay, or something like to that effect. It was weird. It's just like the way he was just very gung-ho, like, come on, we gotta go do this. And so I'm assuming that this is some of Bunny's crew that are working with Frank and all this stuff, but they're gonna go and do this hit. So then we get this is the follow-up to that. Mike goes over to Cindy's house. He's greeted by Lucas, the oldest, that's at the door. He says, hey, I got you a present, something to like that. He gives him the hockey sticks. All right, they start talking a little bit. Cindy comes over. It's like, oh wow, and they go. She introduces him to the kids. Now, this is again for RB7 and some of the other in the comment that were like, oh, he's definitely using her. He's definitely using her. This scene here, kind of changes things. I might be flipping on that. I think it's legit. I think he is. If maybe it started off as, oh, I see she's interested in me. Let me play this game so I can get intel about the prison, messages from my brother, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's developing into something. She has an edge to her. She has a grit to her. Her approach is like she doesn't come off timid. She doesn't come off as like, oh, I'm in over my head, in this town and this and that. Yeah, we get it. Last episode, she said, is everybody corrupt? But it doesn't seem like it's scaring her off. So she introduces Mike to her other daughters. Then they go outside. She lights up a cigarette. Mike used to always, if I remember, I'm pretty sure he was always, but he said he's quitting. And she said, yeah, I'm going to do it, but not today. She starts smoking, talking, the whole thing. Really cool scene here. Because they're doing a little, flirting back and forth. It's like, oh, and she's picking up on it. She was like, oh, you trying to buy off my kids? And it's like, oh, she says you can't buy them off. He's like, what about the mom? She said, what kind of credit card you have? They go into the back. No, they don't go that far. But she was like, oh, she's more pricey. And, they're flirting and stuff like that. And she just, I like the fact that she comes out and says, it's like, are you lonely? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, and it's cool because even when he says something like, I want to say that the job gets easier and stuff. No, I know. It's not. It is what it is. This is it. She's down with the whole thing. She's there for the long haul, meaning the job, the life, living here. The kids, you don't hear any of them complaining about wanting to leave. Doesn't look like Lucas has any issues with Mike. He could have said something. It was like, oh, I'm trying to get with my mom. The snarky remarks. Some kids do that, But no, he's cool with it. I think this might work. But then again, I could see this show pulling our heartstrings for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I 100% do not believe this relationship will work because, again, when something does happen to Kyle, and it will, this changes everything. And obviously, yes, they have a bond. We did see that, the back and forth, the flirting. But this, it was a very good point she made to say that, she asked, are you lonely? Well, considering how dangerous Kingstown is, yeah, you need something to positive to look forward to. So I understand that, but this is not going to end well. I feel like it's gonna go sideways. And it's gonna have, and then again, you made the point, I believe in the previous episode, she does have a past that as well. She could be running from somebody, and I think all that's going to come to a head by the end of the season.
Yeah, if anything, it could lead into next season. I could see somebody come by, maybe takes a shot at Mike, and then they're like, "Who did this?" And then she screams out, "Damn you, Jimmy!" Or something like that. But who knows? We'll see. It's going to get interesting. But yeah, I definitely think something's going to happen with Cindy, good or bad. She's not filler. Something's going to happen with this. Yeah, this is definitely going to pull. So she goes over, right? Oh, wait. Before we go to that, we got Frank's guys. They hit that truck, right? The gas truck is en route. They kill the driver. They take the bags out, and they make it go boom. Nice scene there. It blows up. There goes that. Then, yeah, there we go. Then we get where Cindy meets up with Kyle. Well, she goes by his cell. He's not going anywhere. And says, hey, by the way, your brother's working on a way to get you out through the legal system. Everything's going to work out. And he's just like, don't talk to him. My brother, he don't believe him. He's going to get you killed. He's trouble. That's all he does. It never works out. But yet, when he's saying all this, then right after this, he calls Tracy and then he relays everything that Cindy just said. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Mike is working on a way to get me out. Everything's gonna be good. I'm so happy. We're going to Disney. No, it just made no sense. This is the only gripe I have with this episode, because it made it seem like he was blowing the intel off from Cindy, as if like, that's just hot air. Of course, Mike is trying to work on getting me out. That's what he told me last time he saw me. Yeah, whatever. We'll see what happens. But no, he seems to really believe it, because then he relays that to Tracy. They start talking about things. She wants to come home. Really cool scene here, because the phone starts breaking up. It's very rare that you see that on shows, because everyone's on the cell phones and they just keep the dialogue. But when I heard it, I thought maybe it was my connection, like while we're streaming. Like, whoa, but no, she's clear. But and yeah, the connection breaks up. Now we see who's watching, which is a warden. I don't think that she has a way of doing that on a landline. She could probably just cut it, but I don't think she can cause static and like it. You know what I mean? I don't think she can pull that. So I think that was just perfect timing. That he's over here trying. There goes that. All right, so we got another scene. Mike calls Hobbs. Very interesting. This is from here on gets very interesting for Hobbs. Answers questions that we had about her. Not all of them, but some of them. She gets a call. It's funny because it's like it says Mike McCloskey on the phone, and she instantly opens up the drawer and starts shaking, like popping pills. Like, man, she needs to mellow out. I don't know how fast those pills are gonna react from when you pop them to take a call, but she needs to do it ASAP. Yeah, she's like shaking. Oh. But before she can do that, Taurus walks in. Talks about the truck getting hit, and she was like, I've never lost a package. I don't even count this as a loss. You got to find out. She's like, this can't be. He was like, oh, well, she's like, you have to find out who told him, because they knew exactly when and where. And then he's like, I know, I'm going to find out. I'm going to do this. I'm surprised right here that he didn't say it's Kevin, because he has to know.
Well, yeah, he will find out, because again, he didn't know the whole scene where Kevin went into the office and asked the lady. He wasn't there, so he doesn't know yet, but he will find out, because yeah, he already was suspicious of him in the last episode when he saw he had the phone, so he definitely knows something is up with that guy. So next episode.
He's gonna put all these pieces together. I'm sick, I gotta go home. I ate some bad cabbage. I don't know. Remember, he's gonna put it all together, and that's gonna be the next casualty on this show. So the next scene after that, we see Mike hanging out with Hobbs because he called again, and so yeah, she definitely picked up. It's like, all right, they meet up now. Things are changing. Their relationship is definitely changing, because then he's like, hey, you lost the package. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on now. She still doesn't want to come clean about it, but he starts talking about loyalty, and you need to show loyalty, and we get it, but you got to help me out with this. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was like, I was waiting for something big to get revealed here. Like, go ahead, say what's going on. Why are you working with these people? What is happening? But she doesn't do it. She doesn't. Like, what were you expecting from this scene? Because it was really quick. You would think for a setup for the first time that they're off site, they're not in a prison, and maybe she could speak more freely, and especially with what happened here. But she's still playing dumb and coy, or whatever you want to say. What were you expecting from this?
Oh no, this scene, the conversation between her and Mike, that played out exactly how I thought it would. She's still not going to tell him anything, because again, it's a game of, I think somebody made a comment, it's a game of chess, back and forth. Still trying to play their hand and figure out each other. So I figured she wasn't going to tell him anything, but the scene after that reveals a lot as far as what's going on with her.
Yeah, because he said one thing. He was like, you haven't lost yet. And then he said this, you can't be replaced, so we need you. What? What do you mean you need her? What do you mean? I don't get that. Let her get taken out. She is working with the cartel. I feel like there was more to it, and they probably cut it out. Maybe this was a longer segment, and they're like, we don't need this. Oh, maybe this reveals too much. Sometimes that's what happens, and it just felt incomplete. Just like there was that conversation with LT and Frank before they went out. It sounded like he was going to go a little long too. But anyway, yeah, like you said, the next scene is the big one. And this does answer questions. Hobbs gets home. She has her gun on the side and the passenger side. She grabs that. When she gets into the house, she has her alarm. She turns it off. The fact, whenever I watch any show and I see this, someone's in the house, right? Even if the alarm is on, there's no point of doing a whole tracking shot of someone walking in to a house that has an alarm system, turning them off, unless they're still going to get attacked. And sure enough, it's a beautiful place. I love this. I find it interesting. It's like 3 floors, maybe? Right? And she went up 1, 2. It's a very, very interesting house that she has here. But she grabs some water, she drinks that, she goes upstairs. You're like, oh, everything is fine. And this dude jumps out of the closet. I'm sure some people were freaked out. Like, that's a nightmare. It's like one of those, like the calls coming from within the house. I was like, oh no, I have a home alarm, I have Ring doorbells, everything, and the dude is hiding in the closet. But who is it? It's our favorite show assassin, the dude that Mike said, yeah, let him loose and let's see where he goes. Well, this is where he goes. He goes killing people, torturing them, doing all this craziness. He can't be stopped yet. Right now, there's someone from KPD sitting in his car watching YouTube on his phone because he is not catching this guy leave his place. He probably like, hey, are you watching that guy? Yeah, he's inside. He's over there watching I think he's watching Price is Right. Yeah, he's watching Price is Right. The dude left the TV on. What are you talking about? He's not there. He's torturing the warden. But no. So anyway, he grabs her, hits her a little bit, throws her into that tub. I'm surprised she didn't get knocked out. Those ceramic tubs, those are heavy duty. But throws her in, and he's like, what happened to the package and the whole thing? But the key part here is he takes out his phone and shows a picture of a girl, the daughter. And he says, you tried to hide her, but we found her. So we know that this is what's going on here, because she's like, well, I'm looking into it. Who's to blame? Torres is the blame. And he's doing somebody else, and there's something going on, but Torres is dealing with it. This is his fault. And he was like, all right, well, you got to find out. You got to find this. And then he leaves. She starts crying. But now we know that this is some form of blackmail. That's how she got in. There's more to it. How did they know they can flip her on the whole thing? Because it looks like she hit her daughter, but maybe there was other kids that got involved, right? Maybe something like that, or a husband or a boyfriend or something. What do you think?
Well, yeah, because they made mention that they also know where her son is at. So yeah, both of the kids are,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
See, but that's what I'm saying. It's like somebody before this she must have an amazing backstory then. Yeah, think about it. How did they know that they can flip her? Just because they found family members? There's got to be more to it, because like you said, he said, oh, we found them, so she put them in hiding, so she must have thought that they were safe. Somebody must have went down, maybe her husband or someone else that got her involved, that died or something, that to the point that she has to put those and her other kids in hiding and do whatever job that they needed to do. Now, is this permanent? Is this a full-time thing? Or is this like, hey, a one-off? I think it's a full-time. I think they probably pulled some strings to get her that job there. Again, we don't know how she ended up as a warden. Yeah, we know the previous warden got stabbed to death and he died. But still, how did she get the job? Yeah, we don't know. So that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, that was great. That was a big reveal, at least. So they confirmed some of that, and I'm hoping that she will then, after that conversation with Mike, say, all right, this is what's happening. And maybe, who knows, maybe Mike will be able to help out in some way. Maybe you can get Crazy Ian out there to go find the family, the kids, and relocate them or do something. Or maybe even Evelyn, get her involved. But then again, she's horrible at putting people in witness protection. Look what she did to the delivery guy, right? she epic fail on her part, right? Oh man. All right, so then we jump over to Callahan. He's working in the kitchen. There's a fight that breaks out. Somebody else says, "Hey, we're doing it for the cause," and then we see what's going on here. This is just a diversion to pack this dude up, to hide him in a container truck to get him out of the prison, and it worked. You know, yeah, there was another guard that checked it, but very loosely, like he just looked in. All right, everything looks good. Really, you don't open the bins. You don't, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's like, checking 101. If there's a container moving out, maybe open the container. I'm just saying. I mean, but it's like, why should I? Maybe he's like, I don't get paid enough. I don't got time for that. That means he has to climb in the truck and he's got to do. He's not doing all that work. But anyway, that dude is out. That's going to cause problems because if you remember during that early conversation with Callahan and Kyle, he said that Mike was going to die. Remember? He's like, yeah, he's going to die. He's going to die. So this is it. He's going to send this dude to go and take out Mike. Right? That's what we're thinking.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Well, this is why this is smart, because again, there's a lot going on in the story. They're obviously concerned about taking down Frank. Hobbs is concerned about staying alive and keeping the Columbians happy. So that nobody is really paying attention to what's going on with Callahan. So this is why it's smart, because now that's going to be an X factor in this story to see what he does. Yeah, like you said, they probably will try to go after Mike. But again, there's a lot going on right now. So I'll be curious to see where they take this.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts. So one of the other talking points when Mike was with Ian at the hockey rink was Ian just showing his loyalty here to Mike and say, Robert's gone crazy. He's talking crazy. It could be the drink, whatever, but he blames you for everything. And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes after you. And he's like, well, you got to stop watching over him. You got it. That's all he had to say, because then in this scene, we got Ian, the best drinking buddy you could have, I guess, right? Look at that. He's willing to buy you all the drinks. He's doing the pour out on the floor. I had a friend who used to do that. That pissed me off all the time, because I would see it. He would buy rounds for everybody. He was one of those party guys. Like, hey, he had money. He would buy everybody drinks, and they're like, come on, another shot, hey. And then he would pour it out because he didn't want to go home pissed drunk, but he was okay with getting everybody else pissed drunk. I hate that guy. But anyway, so this is what's going on here. He's like, hey, drink this. He's like, all right. And there was this one scene that we were cracking up, because the guy, he's talking about, man, I do everything for my son. And he's drinking. And then Ian pats him on the chest, and you would think that's the sign of like, come on, you had enough. And he's like, come on, drink up, keep going. And he just keeps pouring up, keeps refilling this, and keeps drinking. It's like, oh no, we see what's happening here. Because Mike gets a call, and we're like, oh, this is it, right? They're gonna figure out a way to dispose of Robert, but no, it's just something else. But Ian is with Robert, drives him home, right? Then he takes him out of his car, puts Robert in his own car that is still in the garage, turns it on, ignition running, closes the garage door. This is it. This is the big play. Robert's passed out. He's drunk. This is how he dies. We know he's fallen on hard times. Hell, Ian works for KPD. He'll probably be the one assigned to this case to do his detective work, and he'll just write it off as an end of life situation, right? This is it. Now, you brought up a good question. What happens if Robert doesn't end his life here? What if he wakes up just in time? Do you see that happening?
So I would say, from a writing standpoint, because this show tells us that Robert is a tough as nails character, he does survive this, because again, the most important thing to note here, Ian decided to do this plan, but he did not work with Mike on this whatsoever. Mike just said, keep your distance. He didn't say, take the guy out. That's why I think it could backfire. And the whole thing is that him and Ian, both Robert and Ian, were the one that took out the witness. So what I think was going to happen in the next episode, Ian is going to be surprised that he did survive. And now this is somebody that can turn against both of them, because the whole thing is he was trying to avoid Evelyn for the longest time to really tell her about what happened. So this is going to come back and cause a problem. I see that happening because I think I saw a comment also last week where they said that we feel like Ian is going to just get away with everything that happened this season. And I think at some point it has to make a turn. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. But again, maybe Robert does pass away in this situation. I see though this has to end with Robert. It's going to be like a physical shootout or something with Ian or Mike or somebody. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because I mean, no one's going to find him. You know, Patty's not gonna show up in the middle of the night just to say, you know what, let's work. Oh my God. You know, I don't think it's gonna be one of those situations. So it's gonna have to be that he comes to in some way, but then he has to hobble to the back door that's connecting to the house and try to get. I don't know, man. It's a tough one. You know, unless somebody complains about the smell. If something happens, or let's say he falls forward, because I'm pretty sure he was in the driver's side and his head hits the horn. And then somebody calls in, and then they open it up, right? And then they bring him into the hospital. There's only one hospital in town. And then Mike, while he's there, finds out, you know, visiting Bunny, whatever. He's like, oh, Robert just got brought in. What? It's like, yeah. They think and they attempt to end the life. Like, yeah, is he alive? Oh, yeah, he'll get better. It's like, ooh, you know, it could be, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But while we're talking about hospitals, we got Mike. That's really the call that he received. It was from Bunny's sister. So Bunny's awake. He's good. Well, not that good, but he's alive. So Mike goes, sits down, and just says, hey, listen, we got to talk. He's like, yeah, I got to tell Frank, see how things go. No. Sorry, that's a problem. Frank is the one that put the hit on you. Spills all the beans at what we know. He put the hit. He's trying to take over. It's all shady. You can't trust him. There's a lot going on here. But Kyle says Mike says he has a plan. And he's going to feed Frank over to Evelyn, which in turn is going to help get Kyle out. I still am upset with that because Evelyn could easily let Kyle out. It sucks that Mike has to do all this, you know, running around and come up with another biscuit for her to handle. It's like, oh, look, I got something else for you. I got you a new bone to pick and let it sucks. But hey, it is what it is. That's how the story's going. I don't think it's going to work out as smooth as he says it is, because he was like, yeah, we're going to get him. And now Bunny was like, no, I want him. And he said, well, you can get him. No, Bunny said, oh, I'll get him when he gets into prison then, because that's all then. They're going to do it the legal way. And the whole point is that way it's a win for Evelyn in court. This guy has never been brought into court accused of anything. So she'll be the first, hopefully bring him down. He says he has all this dirt on him. Okay. And then that would put Frank into the prison, and then that's where Raphael does what Raphael does for Bunny. That's what it seems like it's going to happen. I don't think it would be that smooth, right?
It's not going to be that smooth. With two comments I will make. First and foremost, I like how they ended this episode. It's the exact opposite of how they ended the previous episode, because Bunny was obviously unconscious. So I'm glad they revisited that scene, but now Bunny's awake for the end of this episode. Again, this is why this is a good show, because of how they put everything together. But in terms of that particular part right there, as a viewer, I want to see Bunny have a showdown with Frank. So I don't want them to go the legal route. I want to see the chaos happen between these two, because you want to see him get payback and take out the other guy that was working for him. So I that's how I know they're not going to go that route. It's gonna not go the way that it. And again, that's going to mess up Mike trying to get Kyle out. So that's that's where I think they're heading.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if Bunny's going to get his hands on Frank, but he'll definitely get his hands on Lamar. He's going to get his hands on Lamar, because he was like, yeah, Lamar's the one that got flipped. He's the one that set you up and brought you to that spot in the wood, blah, blah, blah. He can definitely find him and take him out. Hell, he could do that right now. He could tell his sister, hand me my phone, tell one of his peoples to go over there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then that's it. There goes Lamar. But Frank is going to be tricky, or Frank's number two that he's hanging out with. I could see that, like with the LT or something like that. I think he could take him out. But I think, yeah, you know what? It would be more. Yeah. I think it would make more sense if it was Bunny that does it. I just don't know how he does it. Unless they pull like an old mafia style, walking from the courthouse on the steps, and then there's a drive-by and everybody gets down, it starts shaking ragdoll down the stairs. That's the only time, because once he gets called in, that he has to now go to court and all this stuff. This is going to be a lot of people around.
Yeah.
This show has never really shown the press. Hell, they don't even show bystanders, really. If you look at the streets, it's pretty much desolate. It's as if this is a run downtown. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting if it does happen. I wasn't sure about it at first when we saw Lenny James, like we said in the opening. He's a big name. I figured he would be here for the long haul, but maybe not. Maybe he is here just for the season. And I thought it was going to be, he's going to replace the Bunny situation and the character, which could still play out, but I don't see that at this point. I think the people that are going to drop is going to be Kevin Jackson's. Oh, that's so sorry. It's going to happen. Hard time for him. I have a feeling Torres is going to go down as well. Something's going to happen, because remember, Hobbs said that he's to blame. So maybe they may do something to him, or he'll show up with a missing finger or something. They do something there. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Robert.
Yeah, I personally do not think that Robert and Kyle make it out of this season. Perhaps, I mean, Kyle maybe, but Robert, yeah, this character, it feels as though he's at an end with the drinking.
Yeah.
If he survives what happened in this episode, it will force Ian's hand. They're going to have to really organize a plan to take him out, and that, I think that's probably going to happen, because again, he's already isolated from his kid and his wife. So it's right there. It's right there for him to be gone. So I think that's going to happen. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Because then there's only two little side stories. One, the guy that Callahan let out, that they stuck out. What's his motive, right? Probably to kill Mike or attempt Mike. And then the other one, the whole Breen situation. What is he going to do? Is he going to do something to Cindy? I could see that happening. I don't want it to happen, but we know he's a creeper. We know he's a sticky fingers guy, very popular with the pocket pool and all that. So something's going to happen with him. And we saw him where he's sort of talking to himself. We saw that in the break room, right? Was he calling himself a loser or something like that? Right. So something is going to happen with him. And I think that's going to play out. And I really hope it isn't something tragic with Cindy, and that they catch him before anything gets crazy. But
hopefully not. We'll see. I was going to make the last comment and say what you said about Callahan going after Mike. Yes, and I do think, again, the important thing we got to remember, Kyle isn't talking to Mike right now, so he's not able to communicate to him and let him know what's happening. No one knows that Callahan is out now yet. The next episode they might find out, but until then, if they're not communicating, Mike is in trouble as well. So it's not just Kyle. Mike is in trouble, but obviously they're not going to get rid of Mike on this show. At least not yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen. I mean, who would replace him? What, they're going to make it about Kyle? You know what? I'd watch it if it was Ian. just put Ian and Stevie on the front of the box, and I'd probably watch it. I already said they need their own cop drama. The one that, in closing, right before we end this, so there's only one thing that I hope happens back with the whole Cindy and Breen, because Cindy has yet to tell Mike who she works with. And I think once she brings up Breen, that might also bring, because maybe that'll come up where she says, hey, I saw some craziness, the other day. It's like, oh, what happened? Oh, man, the guy I work with, he was like, says he did, one of the inmates said he did some craziness at a women's prison. What's his name? Breen. He'll know. And then just warn her. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be one of those where something does happen and they're trying to put two and two together, and then they find out, well, look who works there. Breen. Oh, that creeper. All right. But hey, this was a good episode. So far, all of them have been good. Last one was great. you know. But this one is definitely getting the ball rolling. We got more clues, more answers. The Hobbs situation definitely looks like it's a blackmail situation. I'm hoping that after that conversation with Mike, she leans closer toward Mike and says, all right, you need to help me out more now, because they're really going after my family, and then I'll give you whatever you need, but I need to get out of this. Because she it doesn't look like, you know, I mean, that was pretty obvious that she is being forced to do this work. She's not a partner with the cartel on this. This is forced. But yeah, that's it. Thanks to everybody if you made it this far, and a lot of you do. You know, you put it on in the car, whatever. This is a long form review breakdown, and that's what we say in the description. But you guys like it. We're going deep on it. We're just not just regurgitating everything you guys already know. We're throwing our own insight, and I'm sure a lot of your insights. So go ahead, put in the comments what's your thoughts on the show, on the characters, and all that jazz. All right, everybody. We'll be back next week for episode 8, 10 episode season. We're almost done. So far, so good. All right, everybody. Peace.